Club's training manual, these lesson plans are used in every Good News Club from coast to coast. There's no room for deviation from the script or spontaneous reinterpretations. How do they choose to tell the story of Saul and the Amalekites? The story in which God tells Saul to go kill all of the Amalekites, including the children and the babies, the men and the women, and the animals. So Saul fails to kill all of the Amalekites. How do they think this lesson should be taught to 5- and 6-year-old children in public schools? Let's go through the lesson a little bit. They write here, if you're asked to do something, sweep the floor, clean your room, how much of it do you need to do before you can say, I did it? Yes, you need to do all of it. If you only partly obey, you are actually being disobedient. And then they talk about how God told Saul to kill all of the Amalekites. They say, Samuel was careful to explain what God wanted Saul to do. You are to go and completely destroy the Amalekites, people, animals, every living thing. Nothing shall be left. That was pretty clear, wasn't it? They say. And then they make clear that the Amalekites had heard about God many years before, but they refused to believe him.
The Good News Club likes to market itself as an organization that teaches morals. Well, let me tell you what the supreme moral for the Good News Club is. Obedience. Complete obedience. Under any circumstance. Including obeying commands to commit genocide, if that's what God commands.
And then in the teaching statement, in 3 separate places, it says, teaching statement, have the children shout, God will help you obey. Here it is again, teaching statement. Have children shout, God will help you obey. And they, just to drive the point home, they say, partly obeying is disobeying. Saul should have been willing to seek God for strength to obey completely. So basically, the lesson teaches that if God is giving the order to kill everybody, it must be done to the letter. And the reason why this is deeply concerning is that many scholars have noted that throughout history, the story of Saul and the Amalekites has been used to justify genocides.
So, hello. This is the video that I watched this afternoon. Oh, look, I'm tipped. I'm feeling tippy. That's right, a bit tipsy tonight. And I've got a really awful accent too. Okay, yes, well, we've already established that I'm loony, right? No, Sophia Investigates, the Good News Club. That inspired my latest short video. I don't understand. First of all, I'm very disturbed by what they apparently teach children. I've heard of like Jesus Camp, where they get the kids all stirred up and some crazy lady in there. I saw an interview where she was saying that the Muslims have their little children running around toting guns, and she actually had basically said something along the lines of, well, we should have kids, our kids should be willing to fight like that. Scary. They're both Abrahamic religions, Christianity and Islam. They're very similar, so it makes total sense to me that mentality would be, and at the same time Christians criticize Islam for being a hateful religion. Look at Christianity. Christianity is just as hateful, and the fundamental Christian mentality that is coming up that wants to deprive people of their rights, have second-class citizens, and train children to be willing to follow God's commandment to the letter. And who exactly would be issuing God's commandment? Who would God's mouthpiece be telling these children, go out and kill? what person, what human would take advantage of all these little brainwashed soldiers? And the part that really kills me is they have the audacity to believe that it's perfectly okay for them to go into a public school. I'm sorry, but a public school should have, their religion has no business there. It has no place there. There are people who are atheists. There are people who are Jewish. There are people who are Muslim, or fill in the blank. There's all kinds of religions in this country, and not everybody can afford to pack their kids off to private schools. Some people, public school is the only option. And I'm sorry, but you have no right to fucking go into some public school and create division among the students by this stupid Good News Club. You know, oh, well, if you're not a Christian, if you're one of these other beliefs, you're going to go to hell. I can just totally see the division that would cause among the students. It's bad enough, we're talking ages 5 through 12. It's bad enough to try to fit in. It's just in normal circumstances. It's really, really tough to fit in when you're a kid. Doesn't matter, you know, what side of the fence you're on, it's hard to fit in, you know. And this is just great. Let's give the kids another reason to have a difference, to, you know, separate. Anyway, my dog's about to go off on a fit, so I'm gonna stop this video. But I just think it's disgusting, and I think that it should be illegal. I don't know why it isn't. Religion has no business in the schools, in public schools. And what really kills me is that these people in the Good News Clubs think that it's okay to trespass on what other parents are trying to teach their children. You know, if I was a Jewish person, I would be enraged if I knew that my children were having Jesus shoved down their throat. And not just Jesus, but this radically fundamental viewpoint of Christianity. If I was atheist, well, I am atheist, but oh my God, if I think it's good to have children to get all different sides of the story, different understanding of the different religions. I totally agree with that. But to have something taught to children like it's a true thing, you know, it's coming to the children in school, so it must be true because they're teaching it in school. That's how the kids are going to think. So it doesn't matter what religion they are, they're going to think this bullshit that this Good News Club is doling out is true. And I think that's a violation of other people's privacy, their business, the way they want to raise their family. I think it's incredibly rude. You know what? Fuck Christianity. The more I see it from the other side of the fence, the more it repulses and pisses me off. You know, you go after little children who don't even, how can they possibly understand? And you deliberately target little children because they have magical thinking and they believe adults, they trust adults. When adults say something is true, they believe it and they trust it. And to actually prey upon trusting little children and use them as tools for your stupid little army or whatever it is, to me, it's beyond repugnant. And I think this group is despicable. Good news, little kids. You were born bad. You were born corrupt. You need Jesus to fix you. I don't understand the mentality that could take beautiful little child and tell them that they're a horrible, vile thing that doesn't even deserve to that deserves to burn and suffer forever just for being born. I'm sorry, what a horrible belief. What a horrible thing to teach a little child. Fill a little child with fear. So then they say, oh, I want Jesus to save me. What a horrible way to perpetuate your religion, or whatever the word is. What a horrible way to spread this lie. And it is a lie. It's a very vile and damaging lie. And I think that something should be done. I think that all of us who I don't care what happened in whatever year 2000, where these guys, if you have clubs in your school, after school clubs or whatever, these guys, that's like a foot in the door for them to come into public schools and cram the shit down kids' throats. And they give them little incentives and little rewards and make it really fun. I'm sorry. It's wrong. It's in my opinion, it's child abuse, and it's wrong. So, I'd like to see it stopped. I wish I knew how to stop it. I think it should be stopped. Maybe we should start a petition. Isn't there a thing now that if enough people sign it? Trouble is, there's so many Christians out there that think that these guys are just nice, normal Christian. They should study what these guys are teaching children. It's not. I was a Christian for the majority of my life. This is not. We weren't being prepared to be little soldiers like this. This is entirely wrong and entirely different than what I had growing up as a Christian. So, anyway, I don't know why my voice is so raspy. I just sound really raspy tonight. I think it's just that I'm really tired. So, anyway, thanks for listening if you have. Bye.